Hello, I'm Nicole, and I'm just giving my review of the Wim Hof Method through the eyes of somebody that has CFS, so chronic fatigue. I've gone through, I set up my first video with expectations, and then I went through the first week, and this is my second week doing the method. So here are my thoughts. Or I guess here are the changes that I've noticed. The first thing that was most noticeable for me was that the breathing that last week I found I was having a hard time, I was just having a hard time doing the breathing, the breath work. It was really frustrating. It was kind of overwhelming emotionally for some reason, but now I feel like I've eased into that a little bit. The second thing I noticed, well, I'm going to notice a lot of things, so maybe I don't need to list in order. The other thing I noticed was that I did it with my husband, and he was talking about tingling and how it was so tingly, and that when you reach a oxygen saturation in your blood that is like 99, 100% up there, then you automatically start getting tingling. And I wasn't getting that at 30 breaths. So I decided to kind of switch it up, and I went rogue, which is like kind of what you do in the second week. You kind of feel it out. And I found I needed 40 breaths before I started getting any tingling, and I was only getting it on one half of my face, which is kind of unusual, but I have neurological symptoms associated with this, so perhaps that was it. I don't know. So I noticed that. Another thing I noticed that was really cool was I was able, by the end of the week, one of the exercises is to put your hands in ice water, and I don't have ice right now, which is silly, but I'm in Canada. So I just use cold tap water, and it was 8 degrees Celsius, and I put my hands in, and what I did notice was that it hurt, like it was uncomfortable for sure, but I would get nauseous for some reason. So I did that. I did that a couple times this week. The cold showers I'm noticing are much easier to do. They are almost like I start warm and then I cool it down and cool it down. And I typically was like averaging 20 degrees again like last week, but one day I was able to get down to 16 degrees Celsius. So that was really cool, and I think 16 degrees I read was where it starts becoming like more therapeutic. And my breath holds I can usually do between like 1.5 to 2 minutes. And I also learned somewhere that like when you reach 3 minutes, then you're kind of really getting into your kind of like subconscious mind, like your brain stem. What is it? The sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, the portion of the autonomic nervous system, right? They're broken into two. So that's kind of cool. So it's something for me to go for. So after doing the thing with my hands, I have a thing where I can't pet my dog without my hands burning, because when I have light touch, repetitive, it burns a lot. And for some reason, when I've been doing this hand thing, and I've been going out on cold walks, because it's like 1 degree in the mornings here, even though it's April. And yeah, I've been able to pet my dog, and I'm noticing less and less of impact in my hands. Like when I first was doing the cold ice, they would go really red and hard, but yesterday I did it and I had no problem, and they didn't go red, they just kind of stayed, and it was good. So that was great. As far as my energy levels, I'm kind of balancing. I had a bit of a little crash in the middle of the week where I needed a nap, and I was just too tired to like try to shower, and because the week before I showered to try to get myself out of a crash with the cold shower to get that like adrenaline rush, but I was just too tired, so I just gave myself a day and I took a break. So I think that's it. So far so good. I'm going to stick with it. I'll keep posting these as I go along, and just wondering if there's anything else before I leave you. Oh yeah, the other thing, there was one more. I've noticed like right now it's the middle of the pandemic and everyone's social isolating and maybe the middle of the beginning, and I don't know. my stress levels have been really low. So I noticed, like, before I started this course, I was like checking the news a lot, which is because it was just starting. So that might have been why. But after I do the breath work specifically, I'm just really, really like zen and I feel really calm, and I don't know, it feels really good. So I think that that's starting to hit a bit harder into my kind of like main nervous system. So that's it. So yeah, I'll let you know in a week. We're going to start week 3 soon. So this was week 2 of the Wim Hof Method. Thanks. Oh, and it was also stress control. Next week is energy management. So we're going to see what that's like. I'm hoping it'll be like there'll be some kind of trick. Who knows? Anyways, ciao.